I waited on the tarmac. It was spring, 1972 in Memphis, Tennessee. This was during my hippie days, and I looked the part. As I waited the arrival of a girlfriend, I was surprised to see a man emerge, a man not yet nationally famous. As our eyes met, I said in Italian, "Mr. Pavarotti, welcome to Memphis." The tenor descended laughing, then said, "You are my welcoming committee?" We chatted amiably for a few minutes. Suddenly, a large group of people approached Pavarotti, apologizing for being late to welcome him. He summoned enough English to say, "Here is my welcoming committee." Such was my first meeting with the man who would become one of the three most famous opera singers of the 20th century, along with Enrico Caruso and Maria Callas, both of whom lacked the mass media advantages that Pavarotti enjoyed. Future meetings proved equally unexpected. The second one was several years later. By then I had discarded my hippie appearance and was beginning a career at the Kennedy Center Opera House. Pavarotti's name had become a household word, and he was to appear in 4 performances. On a slow day at the box office, we were astonished to see Pavarotti approaching us with his big, friendly smile. As if it were necessary, he introduced himself. He then told us he was singing the 4 performances and encouraged us to come to see him. He then extended the same invitation to any other employees that he encountered. In all my years at Kennedy Center, he was the only star to do such a thing, and it made quite an impression. I, of course, needed no encouragement, having previously procured my tickets. I had been initially alarmed that he would subject his lyric tenor to the heroic demands of Manrico, the lead in Verdi's Trovatore. The vocal pinnacle of Pavarotti's voice was from the late 60s through the mid-70s, so as I took my seat, I approached his performance with a degree of trepidation. I then found myself next to an elderly gentleman who, from the sound of his bravo, was Italian. During the first intermission, I spoke to him in Italian, asking him if he were from Italy. He responded as predicted and then asked me what I thought of the tenor. When I simply responded that Pavarotti was one of the best tenors in the world, he said, "One of the best. He's the best." Such was the passion of his response that I felt it best to simply agree with him. I learned that he was from Modena with tickets for several performances. He then revealed that he had come specifically to hear his son perform Manrico. We spent each of the intermissions in spirited conversation, and he was happy that I, as well, had a backstage pass. At the end of the performance, the tenor saluted his father affectionately, and Pavarotti, Sr. introduced me as Gregorio. I told Pavarotti of our first meeting those many years ago, and he told me he recalled it, though I was doubtful. I then said hello to a couple of other cast members and then bade farewell to both Pavarottis. Though I was to hear him sing many more times, our paths did not cross again. Through those years, I often thought of Caruso and Maria Callas, wondering what level of fame they would have achieved in the media age. Had they been contemporaries, would Pavarotti's fame have matched or even exceeded theirs? Luciano Pavarotti passed away on September 6, 2007. He was 71 years old. For his 21st century fans, Pavarotti's preeminence will likely remain undisputed.